Okay. Cool. All right, so I got that. All right. Hello. Just getting set up. Yeah, 4K, that was good timing. All right. I don't have a lot of time to stream today. I'm going to do a short one. I think it's probably just going to be, it may just be 30 minutes. We'll see. I've got, the kids are home today. Everybody's outside at the moment, so it's quiet. So I'm going to do a quick stream. When they get home, I'll stop the stream because there's just no point. It'll be so loud. Anyways, so what I want to try and do real quick is I need to set up the SpiderBot model with our laser system. And so it's going to require a little bit of some extra magic to make that happen. So I thought this would be a good chance to jump in and do that. Yeah, so come along for the ride. All right. Cool. So let me get my SpiderBot. I've turned off RTX voice. I was running that, used to run that to clean up the audio, but it's using the GPU, and I think it was causing too much slowdown. So the last stream, it was only 2.5. I don't get it 4K, so only 2.5. I'm not sure what you're getting at 4K. I have to explain your comment. Anyways, all right, let's do it. Spider control. Yep, cool. All right. Let me know if the video starts going stuttery for me. That'd be really helpful in chat if you guys could let me know. It's kind of a problem that happens sometimes, so I just want to be aware of it. It can really mess me around when I'm doing my edit later. So, anyways, all right, let's get started. All right, and welcome to another exciting Blender tutorial. I'm Chris Bailey, and today we're going to be putting lasers on the SpiderBot. Let's do it. Okay, so we made lasers. That was something we've done. And what I want to do now is show you how to apply that system to something that might have multiple turrets. Now, you know, you think that with that laser system we built, we've got that little plane, you know, that shoots the laser. You'd think that would just be fine to use on its own. But one of the things is if you have a bunch of those, and we brought in one for each, you know, different gun. So in this particular model, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've got a lot of guns. So I think if we put one on each, they're all going to fire at the same time, and it's not going to look very good. Whereas if we can take the laser system and have multiple faces on that object, it's going to shoot a laser out of each face kind of at random, and that can create a really nice effect if each of the turrets is kind of firing at random. It's much more natural. It's a kind of a cool look. So anyways, what I want to do is set that up there. One of the problems with that is if we have multiple polygon faces and we've got these articulating arms like we do here where they're moving around and stuff, it means that the faces are never really going to line up. And we got to figure out a way to parent the model to the model. And, you know, anyways, we're going to do that. So it's actually pretty simple. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and go File, Import. And I am going to, file append. I'm going to append in my laser system. So I'm just going to navigate to where I've saved my laser. So 1 second, go scenes. Actually don't know what I've named it. Classic. Where is it? SpiderBot, nope. Nope. Maybe I just named it. Maybe just tin3 is what I've called it. Let me check. Collections, laser. All right, let's see if this works. What did that bring in? We've got the laser. Let's move my mic over. And oh, it just brought in. All right, that's right. That's not the collection we want. Delete that. file, clean up, purge all. File, clean up, purge all. Okay, let's try that again. Let's go file, append, and I want the laser system collection. That's what we want, right? Yes, perfect, there it is, great. All right, so got my laser system in here. I need to delete a few things. Oh, I've already got some bones in here. I've already started the fun. Let's not do that. Let's select the hierarchy and delete. Get rid of that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. And I think I've brought in some stuff. Let me actually. I'll just go open recent spider bot. Don't save. Bring that back in. Boom. There we go. All right. One more time. So I should name my stuff clearer. So it's not going to be in that one. Maybe it's going to be in 10-1. Collections. Lasers. No. 10-2. Collections. Laser colliders. This is annoying. All right, I'll just open up the project file itself and see if I can find it. Classic live stream problems, right? It's not there. Let's go to this one, scenes 10. What does scene 10 got in it? Does this have all I need? Spiderbot. Okay, I just haven't broken it into a collection, but I did have it in a collection over here in 10-3. So I've got laser system. I also have laser system.01. I think that one's probably all good. I don't think I've got a... Yeah, I've got the armature on laser system 1. All right, so let's try that. We'll go back to Spiderbot. File, append. And I'll go to the correct one. And let's get the laser system.001. There we go. Okay, and let's see. We've got our laser and our emitters. Great. There we go. And I just need to have, I'll just put something in here just to collide with, just so I can make sure everything is working properly. So I'll just add this cube to the particle collision system. Do I have that in this collection? No, I don't. So let me just find that. Let's see, field weights, nope. Viewport, nope. Force fields. I'll get going soon enough, I promise. Where's that thing again where you effector collection forcing laser instance. Am I just remembering it incorrectly? Do we not have to worry about? I'll just turn this into collision, kill particles, and I'll turn this into on. And yeah, it's looking for the collection, so regun. All right, rotation, physics, deflection, there it is. Laser colliders is the collection it's looking for. So I'll create that system. Laser, it's all one word. Colliders, bingo. Oh, wait a minute. 001. Does it mean it's already in the scene? No. That's odd. Must be, pop that in there. Now it works. Great. And then do I need to have this turned on for that to work? Yeah. Okay. Cool. I can turn that off. And is that point light still in there? Yeah, I want to get rid of that. Excellent. All right. Great. And where's my ray gun? There it is. All right, let me position it. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Shooting straight up. Great. And we'll rotate this 90. And I'll put this right there. Great. And then do we also have the, I guess we wouldn't have the thing that it's supposed to go to. I'm sorry guys, this is all broken. I should have gotten this sorted before and I thought it was all ready to go. Influence. So target laser controller. So it's in the scene? This is really bizarre. What are my data blocks? Ah, are there multiple scenes here? It's brought in the whole scene. Why would it have done that? Let's turn that off. Sputterbot laser. All right, so now does that mean it's gone? No, it's still there. But we don't have anything called laser controller in here. So I'll just recreate that real quick. UV sphere. Scale it up. Pull it back. Laser controller. Ray gun. Laser controller. Yep. Put that into laser colliders. And turn on collisions for that guy. Now my ray gun should work. Now what is this driver doing? Is this the crazy? Oh no, it's linked to a property path. What is this referencing? Prop 2 and prop 1. All right, I don't need that, so I can delete this driver. There we go. So if I do that and I do that, good. Okay. Let's go ahead and throw an emission on this guy and make it black. Now, by the time I get all this set up, it'll be time to stop the stream, probably, knowing my luck at this point. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Hi, Culture. Thanks for joining. Good to see you, mate. I'm going to restart my recording because that was all one big waste of time. There we go. All right. Okay, so I've imported my laser system into the file with the SpiderBot. So you can see it's working properly. It's colliding with a collider, getting sparks, and we've got our laser controller hiding off in the distance. It's a bit close, probably need to move it, but that's all right for right now. What we need to do is we need to take this object here, the ray gun. If I switch to transparent mode, you can see there it is, our little ray gun. We need to take this polygon and we need to have multiple faces of it, and we need each of those faces to be attached to these guns, right? So I can't just, go in here into edit mode and, Shift D and grab this on the Y, let's say, and moved it, and then Shift D, grab this on the Z or on the X maybe, move it up. You know, so now I've got 4 faces in this object. If I play it now, you can see it's firing randomly from these 3 polygons, right? So that's the effect we want. But now if I was to take this object and like line it up with this gun system and parent it, then it's not really going to work because these are all moving independently. So they're all separate in the way they move because they're all tracking this target object based on their position and their rotation. So it's unique for each of them. So what we actually need to do is literally parent each individual face of this one object, each polygon, to each of these different guns. So how do you do that? How do you take one object that's just, you know, a series of faces and polygons and vertexes and stuff? They're not separate objects, but how do you parent individual parts of it to the individual parts of something else? That's a really good question. Well, the way you always do that is with bones. Now you might think, hang on, bones are for character animation, right? They're for, you know, creating a skeleton. You make your character to walk. Yeah, that's right. But the theory behind bones, or what they're doing, is it's a way of parenting individual faces to other faces of other geometry. So the individual faces of separate objects and bringing them together to work together. That's really what a bone does. So that's what we need to do here. So I'm going to start off by, I'm going to move this thing way out so that my guns are pointing pretty straight. So I'm going to take my Z, I'll zero that out, I'll zero out the Y, and I'll take my X and I'll turn it way up to like 10,000. So now these guys are fairly straight in their direction. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take, let's see, I'll take my laser system, I'll zero it out as well. And I'm going to go into edit mode and I'm going to look at this. I'll hit, let's see, was it 3 on the number pad? And I'll look at this straight on. I'm also going to hide my laser controller so that it's not in the way there. It's a little easier to see. And I can hide this cube. I don't need to see that right now either. All right. And I'll just go back to the first frame so I don't have any sparks flying around, just to kind of make things easier for myself. I'm going to go to my ray gun and I'm going to enter edit mode. And I'm going to line up these faces with each of these different gun barrels. Okay. Oops. So let me grab the other 2 that I made. Grab this one, put it here. Grab this one, grab it, put it here. And Shift D, put this here. Shift D, put this here. Shift D again, put this here. And put that there. Great. So we've got all these guys. Now let's see. I think I've got an extra one there. I can delete that face and that face, and that's it. All right. Now, how far out are these guys? All right. So they're all right here at the origin point. So I'm going to select all. Make sure they're not rotated weird or anything. That's all good. And I'm going to grab them on the Z and drag them forward, just so they kind of line up inside these guns. And what I might do is box select these, and I'll bring them out a little further. It's probably good to have it intersect the geometry some, so the laser's literally emerging from the geometry. That's probably a good thing. And if anything, actually, it might be good if I move these right back. Yeah, that might be nice, because then the laser's going to come really from inside. So if I leave edit mode, turn off transparency, you can see that I'm getting lasers firing randomly from each of these different guns. If I turn off the selection mode too, you'll see it's coming from inside the actual gun itself. So it's kind of a nice effect. So if I'm flying behind this thing, it looks like it's firing from all these different guns. Okay, so how do we now parent each of these faces? Well, what we need to do is we need to create an armature. So I'll keep it in my emitters group. I'm going to create an armature. So let me turn this all back on. I'll create a bone. So Shift A, armature, click. There you go. We have an armature. You can't see anything yet. Switch to transparent mode. There it is. We've got a single bone in this armature. Okay. Now I'm going to go into edit mode and I'm going to grab this bone, and I will actually, what I'll do is I can use the position of all my faces in my ray gun to set this up. So I can select, oops, go back to my ray gun, enter edit mode. I can select this face. I can hit Shift S, cursor to selected. Then I can leave edit mode. I could go to my armature, enter edit mode again, select my bone, Shift S, selection to cursor. And that's going to stick this bone right up here, so it's lined up perfectly with this, this guy. All right, now I don't really need to orient this bone or do anything with it at all, really. So I can just leave it just like this, okay? Now I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna repeat that process. I'll leave edit mode, go back to my ray gun, enter edit mode, select the next face, Shift S, cursor to selected, leave edit mode, come back here, go into edit mode, Shift D to duplicate, Shift S, selection to cursor, boom, another bone. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna place each of these in the right spot. Feel free to throw any questions in chat if you guys have any. It's nice to see you here. Thanks for joining me today. Cursor to selected, and Shift D, Shift S, selection to cursor. Okay, ray gun. There we go. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift D, Shift S, selection to cursor. A little bit tedious, this process. All right. Shift S, selection, oops. Cursor to selected. Selection to cursor. Gun. To selected. Almost there. Shift D, Shift S, selection to cursor. Perfect. All right, great. Cool. All right, so we've got one bone now for each gun, and we have a single face in our laser gun emitter. It's all lined up, right? So now we need to do is combine it all together. So, oops, except I've duplicated my armature. No, I can delete that one. Did that get rid of any of my bones? No, good, yeah. Okay, they're all in there. Great. All right, so. Okay, now what we can do is, the next step is we need to go ahead and parent the faces to these different bones. So let's take the ray gun and then control click on the armature. And then what we're gonna do is do Control P, and you see you get a bunch of extra options if you're working with an armature. So usually we just get, object, keep transform, and that's it. But we wanna do armature deform, and we wanna do automatic weights. So what that's gonna do is it's going to parent these two together in a special way that lets Blender know, okay, this armature, this skeleton rig with these bones is supposed to control the individual faces of this object that we're parenting to it. So automatic weights means Blender's going to paint the weights for us. And a weight is basically, if you imagine you took a bone and you stuck it on a ground, right, in a plane, and imagine like a red circle beneath that bone, and where I pull up, everything that's red is going to pull up with that bone, and everything that's blue isn't, right? So it's going to stay flat. So that's the weight. It's the painted weight. So it fades off so that we know, okay, we just want this region to be controlled by this bone. So I can deform this object, moving it around, and that's how that works. So we're going to click automatic weights, and it should pretty much do it already. So what I can do now is if I switch into pose mode, I can grab one of these bones, and you can see I'm affecting just that polygon. I don't know if you can see that. It's really small here. I'll zoom right in. So you can grab, you see that polygon now sticks to this bone. And I'm not in edit mode, so I'm not changing the geometry of this object, but the rig is, the armature is changing it. Now what I need to do is create some constraints. So bones can be constrained to other objects in the scene that aren't related in order to create really cool effects. So I want to constrain this to my gun object. So I'm going to leave pose mode, go back into object mode. And I think I want to be parenting it to these things because I'm going to use these, I think, to create like a firing motion. So these might be moving around a little bit. So I think it's probably best to use this object. So I'm gonna hit the full stop key. I'm just gonna have a look at what this object is labeled. There it is. So forearm is what it's called. And what's the naming convention I've used across all of these? So it's just forearm and then the different numbers. Okay, cool. So this is forearm with no number behind it. And you can see the name there as well. So that's how we'll track these down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. I'm going to go into pose mode again. I'll select my first bone. And I'm going to come right over here. And we've got a few extra tabs whenever you're working with bones. Okay. And I want to go to this one here, the bone constraint tab. I'm going to click that, and I want to, what do I want to do? I want to copy the transforms. Okay, so I'm going to click copy transforms, and my target, I can actually just eyedrop. Where is it? Forearm, there it is. Boom. Okay. Now, it's changed, right? It's moved, it's reoriented, and it's changed its scale. And that's actually, I think that's a reason why we don't want to do that, because the scale is different. So yeah, that's the wrong constraint. So let's see, what's the next one we could use? I want to copy the location and rotation. Let me remember, what did I do? Was it transformation? Destination. I could have just had two constraints, a copy rotation and copy location. Let's try that. So where's my forearm? I'm gonna make sure I grab the right object. There it is. All right, so that, put that there. And then where is that thing where you do the how did I do this? I should load up. I've got a test project where I've done this already. I should load that up just to save time, so we don't end up doing this forever. But I'll just quickly see if I can remember. It had to do with, where was it? Child of, I think that's it. Yep, child of, that's what I want. Okay, cool. All right, so we need to create a constraint for this bone to latch it onto this gun arm thing. So I'm gonna click on the bone and make sure I'm in pose mode. And I'm gonna go to add bone constraint. You can only really set up constraints in pose mode, remember that. And I'm gonna go child of. This is a really great constraint that basically makes a bone a child of another object, just like it sounds like. I can just eyedrop and select the forearm. Okay, now it's gonna move, right? And it's changing it based on the scale of this object, the position of this object, the rotation of this object. It's trying to kind of normalize it all as if it's been parented to it and had all those transformations applied to it as well. But we don't want that. Okay, what we need to do is set the inverse. And basically what it does is it's going to take the current state of the bone that we had it in before we set this constraint, and it's going to take the current state of the arm, so its scale and its position and all that stuff, and it's going to basically cancel the two out so that it says, okay, well, this is what I need to be subtracting, I guess, from all the values of this bone to get it in the right place every time. So if I just click set inverse, it's going to pop back up into the spot. And now it's going to behave appropriately. Now, if you ever need to change this or set up in a different way, you want to clear the inverse, get it set up, and then set the inverse again. That's how that works. All right. So now what happens is this bone is going to follow this arm, okay? And naturally then that face is going to be dragged around by this bone, which means now the faces are now parented basically to these robot arms. Now what I'm gonna do is quickly set up all these, and then I'll show you it in motion, okay? So I'll just repeat that process now for each of these different objects. Hope everybody's doing good in chat, by the way. Feel free to say hi or throw me any questions. This is really hard to select these. Forearm 2, there we go. Set inverse. Next one. I don't know why I put so many arms on this thing. It's just, you know, so much work. Jeez. Forearm, where are you? Forearm. Which forearm are you? There we go. Set inverse. Next one. Add bone constraint. Child of. And let's pick forearm. Whoops. I'm on the wrong one. Forearm, set inverse, boom, child of. Select the object. Forearm. 3, set inverse. Next one. Child of. Set inverse. All right. Child of. Background music for you guys. Boom. Done. Okay. All right. So I've gone ahead and I've applied the constraint to each of my bones. And then I've used the child of constraint. I've parented it to each of the different arms. So let's see what happens. If we switch out go back to object mode and grab our target object, which is hiding way off in the distance, we can bring it all the way back, say to like maybe 100. Bring it to 10 so I can actually see it. All right, now you can see automatically these bones are starting to move, right? If I move this around, now all the bones are following the guns perfectly. And if we were to switch modes like this, press play, you can see as I move my thing that that nothing's working. Why is it? I don't know why it's not working. That should work. What happened? I was so confident. That was my problem. I shouldn't have been so confident. What's going on? Where is it? Where's my ray gun? Ray gun, lasers, spark, cube, laser controller. That's right, ray gun is in here. Oh wait, there's something I remember about this. What was it? That's it. Okay. All right, so awesome, Steph. Welcome. First time watching. Glad you're joining us and glad you're learning Blender. Hope you enjoy all the videos. There's a lot of content. All right, here we go. What we got to do. So why is it not working? Right. You know, we've got our lasers firing. We move the target object around and they're not following with it. Well, the problem is the armature is a modifier. Okay, just like the particles are a modifier in our modifier stack, just like anything else, any other modifier you might put in. And the order of modifiers is very important. So you can see first what's happening is it's firing the lasers using the laser particle system. And then after it computes that, then it computes the armature. So it's deforming our laser system after it emits a particle, which is why we're not getting things to work properly. So all we have to do is flip that. So now the armature happens first, so we deform the object, and then our particles fire. So now, if I click this and hit play, you can see that our lasers are firing appropriately. Turn that off, we'll turn that on and hit play. So now I can move around and I'm shooting lasers out of my actual guns at random, and it looks really nice. Cool. All right, so we're making good progress. Next thing I want to do is, with this kind of a gun system, you know, it would make sense if the guns were kind of moving somehow, like pistons, is what I've got in my head. So let's set that up. I'm going to put my target object back down. I'll go 100, 0, and 0. I'll jump back to first one. Cool. And let's go ahead and yeah, Eevee is nice, isn't it? I love Eevee. Like, it's so cool doing all this stuff in real time, man. All right, so what's going on there? Why are these guys shooting all over the place? Oh, they just need to update. Is there some animation data? What's happening? Armature, ray gun, multi-modifier. Let's something. Maybe it's just the cache. Maybe the cache doesn't. Just bake it real quick. That could just be what's going on. Yeah, okay, cool. So if you get some weird behavior from your system, like I just, for example, just then I reset my target object back to the center, but my lasers were still firing off all over the place as if, you know, they were, it was still pointed in different directions. It's just because the cache that it's created, it doesn't really understand that things have changed because of the way the whole system works. So just come over to cache for your laser particle system and, you know, delete the bake and rebake your particle system, and it should work properly. That'll fix up any kind of weird anomalies that you see. So just be on the lookout for that. Okay, great. So let's get these things to kind of undulate. Now, what I'm thinking is there's no way that I know of to know which polygon the particle system is going to choose, right? It's a random choice, and we could probably detect that random choice if we used Python and we created a script, but it's probably a bit overly complex for what we're doing. We probably don't need to worry about that, okay? So what I'm thinking is all I really need to do is have just kind of random motion to these guns, and it's gonna all kind of work together. So when you're looking at it, it's gonna make sense visually, and it's not gonna really matter if they're not all firing together at the same time. So what I wanna do with that is I want to create, so I'm going to come over here to my controller for my robot, and I'm going to add a custom property, and I'm going to edit that property, and I'm going to call it, let's see, actually before I do that, let me delete that. And where is, with our SpiderBot, where are we, SpiderBot, what mode am I in? I thought we had, did we have, oh, that's right. Did we put it on the target object? I'm just trying to remember. Yes, we did. Okay, so we put we've got these controls already. We've got a fold control and we've got a lights control that can turn on and off the lights of the SpiderBot. So I want to continue to put things there. So I'm going to also add a property here called fire lasers. Move that keyboard so it's not rattling all over the place. Click OK. And up. Everybody's home. It's going to get really noisy here. So that means we're going to wrap up the stream. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to try and jump on again later this week, hopefully, and do a bit more. I want to be able to finish this out. And next step we're going to do is, yeah, we'll have the laser guns firing like pistons, and then we're going to have I need to also then detach the face of the SpiderBot so that it follows and tracks along with the target as well. So we're going to do that too, and that'll be nice. If you're not familiar with the SpiderBot, it's a set of tutorials that I made that are on the Patreon, so it's for Patreon supporters, a special series for them. And if you're on the high enough level, you get the asset itself. You can download it and just use it in your own project, so that might be worth checking out if you're interested. And yeah, it was really great to yeah, get this going and share this with you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for being here. It's been a lot of fun, and I'll just chat for a second. I'll stop my recording. There we go. And I'll chat for a second. Anybody have any questions about anything? Happy to answer those questions. Just to give you an idea too, what we're gonna have probably coming up is, oh wait, there it is. All right, chaos time. All right, I will catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching and joining me today. See you later. Bye.